Welcome to this week's Security Report. I'm Paul McAdam. Thanks for joining us. Please be informed that with effect from Monday, May 18, the Guyana Police Force recommenced the issuing of certificates of fitness for motor vehicles and gun license renewals. A date for the resumption of the practical driving tests will be announced later. Now, we must tell you that if you have a fever, cough, or difficulty breathing, please call the coronavirus hotline numbers. These are 227-4986, 229-7490, 231-1166, 226-7480, or 624-3555. The Guyana Police Force has blocked vehicular access to the Kingston seawalls from the bandstand to Flesingen Road on Sundays. This comes as numerous persons continue to frequent the area despite warnings about the dangers of gathering in large groups due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The measure, we're told, will remain in place until further notice. And ranks of the force on Monday, July 6, conducted a narcotics eradication exercise at Bartica Village in the Berbice River. During the operation, spearheaded by a senior officer and a team of other ranks, approximately 2.5 acres of cannabis cultivation with over 11,000 plants and a camp were found, photographed, and destroyed by fire. The prohibited plants, which had a street value of more than $20 million, were between 2 to 7 feet in height. No arrests were made. And 37-year-old Sophia resident Andre V. Kenyatta Easton was killed after being shot at least 3 times by a neighbor identified as Karen in B. Field. The killing on Tuesday, July 7, stemmed from an argument over the dead man's tying of a horse in a playfield opposite the suspect's girlfriend's home. The two men had an argument the previous day, and a report was made to the police by the now dead man. The suspect and his female companion then went into hiding. Residents subsequently burnt the suspect's house down in the evening after his mother attempted to remove documents from the premises. The murder suspect, Kieron Mark Adams, whom a wanted bulletin was issued for earlier, was found in Mucka after police, acting on intelligence, went to the location. The suspect on July 8, seeing the ranks, began shooting at the lawmen who returned fire, wounding him. Adams died whilst receiving medical attention at the East Bank de Marara Public Hospital in Diamond. An unlicensed pistol was retrieved from the scene. The Ministry of Public Security's various sectors were expanded and improved to provide a safer Guyana for all. In that effort, $34.7 billion of its $35.6 million budget was spent. A large portion of that sum was spent on crime prevention and reduction. This saw the expansion of the police forces divisions from 7 to 12 to include Madja and Regina, Fort Wellington, Diamond, and Mabruma. This also saw the rehabilitation of 12 police stations. As part of the police reform program, several new units were operationalized in the Criminal Investigation Unit to effectively tackle and solve crime. More ranks were trained in several areas. These included integrated crime information systems and crime intelligence, crime scene management, transnational crime, fraud and financial crimes, and other areas. The Guyana Forensic Science Laboratory also received a boost as it can now conduct DNA testing several years after its initial establishment. Toxicology and gunshot residue testing was also added to its repertoire as the lab is now in accordance with the ISO 17025 standards, which are geared towards facilitating the international accreditation process. The sum of $1.4 billion was spent on prison reform. This facilitated not only training of officers of the prison service, but also extended to the 1,050 inmates. These inmates were trained in numeracy and literacy, the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate Mathematics, carpentry, joinery, electrical installation, and culinary arts. And the Guyana Fire Service enhanced its firefighting capacity with the acquisition of a $292 million fire boat. This added to 5 new ambulances, 2 new and 7 reconditioned water tenders, and a rescue and firefighting vehicle. Additionally, for the GDF, the Guyana Defense Force, its air, land, and water fleets were boosted with the purchase of 7 vehicles, 4 drones, and 4 boats. Also, the CDC added 2 vehicles to its fleet and expanded several bases, which are at Mary, Madja, and Letem. And let's tell you that ranks had to form a bucket brigade to extinguish a fire at the Sunnis Magistrates Court early Wednesday morning. According to the police, someone or persons attempted to set fire to the building between 4:49 and 5:25 hours. They saw a police corporal who was on duty observing the fire from the bottom flat of the building of the stairway. He managed to alert two other ranks, and they gained entry through the door on the upper flat of the court. There it was observed that the pile of paper on the magistrate's chair was on fire. The ranks formed a bucket brigade to extinguish the fire as they contacted the fire service. Fire service officials discovered 4 plastic bottles with kerosene along with 2 chisels. The items were lodged at the Surrey police station and an investigation is underway. A 50-year-old woman of Nurney Village, East Berbice, quarantine appeared virtually at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday, charged with the offense of child stealing. Patricia Gomes, known as Beverly, was arrested on July 3 by the police in Berbice after she was found with a baby girl that was reported missing by her mother in March. She appeared before Magistrate Crystal Lambert and was not required to plead to the indictable charge. She was remanded to prison and is slated to appear in court on July 24. Gomes told investigators that the mother of the then 9-month-old baby asked her to take the child to a hospital outside of the Cuyuni-Mazaruni District, Region 7. At the time, both women were working as cooks at Quartzstone Bagdam in Cuyuni, and the mother would usually leave the child in Gomes' care. Gomes told the police that the baby's mother, who is Venezuelan, gave her the baby's birth certificate and other documents as she journeyed from Region 7 to the capital city and visited the Georgetown Public Hospital. At the Georgetown Public Hospital, the doctors treated the toddler and told Gomes to take her regularly to the clinic for further checkups. Gomes told the police that the mother was supposed to collect the baby girl 3 days later but never showed up. So Gomes took her to her Nurney Village home. She also told the police that she tried calling the mother repeatedly, but her cell phone went to voicemail. And 31-year-old Nick Skeet was sentenced to 26 years imprisonment on Thursday for the rape of a 20-year-old woman, which occurred between July 8 and 9, 2016 in Lethem Region 9. Skeet, known as Jason Blair or Shatter of Tabatinga Lethem, was sentenced by Justice John Barlow at the Georgetown High Court. On March 19, a 12-member jury found Skeet guilty of the charge, whilst his 2 co-accused, Harold Anderson and John Lee Edmond, were found not guilty. A probation report revealed that previously Skeet was under investigation by police ranks in Lethem for rape, but that matter never reached the court because the alleged victim returned to Brazil. Meanwhile, the probation officer said that the victim's father related since the incident, she has become withdrawn and is very fearful around men. According to the probation officer, the victim suffered a horrendous bestial attack that resulted in serious mental trauma. Skeet started his sentence at 27 years and 3 years were added for aggravating factors, which took it to 30 years. From the 30 years, the judge deducted 3 years, 10 months and 4 days for the time Skeet spent in trial custody. As a result, he will spend 26 years behind bar. Now, police are investigating the death of a 20-year-old gold miner who received severe injuries during a football game on July 3 at Armu Bagdam, Cuyuni, Bagdam, Region 7. Rickford Newton of Baidarabo Bartika sustained injuries to his skull, neck, spine, arms, and legs. His teammates told police that he jumped to catch a ball when he fell and sustained injuries. Newton was rushed to the Bartika Regional Hospital in an unconscious state and transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he died on July 8 without regaining consciousness. A post-mortem examination done revealed that he died as a result of a fractured spine. His mother, Carol Newton, wants a proper investigation since she believes he was beaten by his employer. According to his mother, the employer owed her son money for work done, and she believes that this resulted in his death. Rickford worked in the mining area for about 4 months. Now for some highlights from the Guyana Defense Force. All ranks remain in line and in barracks due to the current political climate as per force regulations. Now for the wanted bulletins. Elroy Oral Bristol is wanted by the police in relation to possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking committed on June 23, 2020 at Patrick's Dam, Angois Avenue, New Amsterdam, Berbice. Delon Wilson is wanted by the police for questioning in relation to larceny by a public officer between 2013 and June 2020. Marissa Ahmad, 33-year-old, known as Marissa Ali, is also wanted in connection with simple larceny committed on Stanislaus McCoy. The woman of Annandale, East Coast, Demerara, committed the offense on February 4, 2020 at the Ocean Spray Hotel, Stanley Place, Kitty, Georgetown. Also wanted is 18-year-old Stephen Archibald in connection with the murder of 23-year-old Kyle Chase. Chase was stabbed to death on December 30, 2019 at Mazaruni Street in Guy Hawk Park. Archibald's last known address is Lot 136 Victoria Street, Old Boys Town, Georgetown. Anyone with information that may lead to the arrest of the aforementioned can contact the police on telephone numbers 226978, 225-8196, 226-2870, 226-7065, 227-1149, 911 or the nearest police station. That's it for this week's Security Report. Goodbye.